Just take a pause and reflect upon these questions. Do you have a routine to follow, or you just take decisions impulsively? Do you wake up and go to bed at consistent times? Do you find yourself choosing distractions over mindful work? Don't take much time and just answer to these questions impulsively. If your answer is no, it doesn't mean that you're outside of the track. All it means is that you're just supposed to have a system to follow. James Clear in his book Atomic Habits has beautifully said that we don't rise to the level of our goals, but we fall to the level of our systems. And by the end of this video, I'm sure enough that you will be able to find the flaws and mistakes that you have in your routine and make sure that you stay consistent and disciplined despite being a hostelite. By the end of this video, I will help you to get yourself a good system that you can follow to stay and maintain consistency and discipline. The word good is deliberately chosen here. That's because when it comes to taking decisions regarding our hobbies, habits, good decisions, timetable and stuff, we usually try tending to chase the best and the perfect. We tend to chase the perfect in the seek of best and often tend to procrastinate the task at hand.
So, hey everyone, I'm Niranjan. I'm a second year medical student at SIMS Shimoga.
And I have spent more than a third of my life being a hostelite. As in, being a hostelite exposes us to various things, be it fun, gathering, parties and stuff. But the hard part comes when we start paving our way for the reason we are a hostelite. As in, let's say you study computer science. So you have projects to work upon, apps to build, coding to do and stuff. Or let's say that you're a medical student. You're supposed to go to college every single day. You're supposed to attend postings, study consistently, prepare for seminars and stuff. And with the experience that I have being a hostelite or host elite, just a little flex, here am I discussing about the different problems that we face maintaining consistency and discipline being a hostelite. So without wasting much time further, let's go. So firstly, let me clear out the why, as in, why do we need a routine and follow consistency and discipline being a hostelite? As in, we go to college every single day. We go to college in the morning, attend classes, go to postings, have another set of class, come back, there are practicals to go, and then we come back tired. Then why are we supposed to implement another routine in an already existing one? The thing is that when we enter college or a professional course like MBBS, our real student life lies outside the college, be it studying, working out, partying, or whatever. All of our real student life lies outside the college. And outside the college, we have around 16 hours. As in, if we consider our classes from 9 a.m. in the morning to like 4 in the evening, when we do the math, we get around 16 to 15 hours. And we are supposed to use this time judiciously. Time, energy, and focus. These are the resources that we have, and there's a reason why time is always placed first. So we are supposed to use these resources in the given time to get the maximum yield. And that's why we need to have a good system. So here are a few practical tips that you can follow to stay consistent and disciplined despite being a hostelite. The moment you snooze, you lose. Get up and keep going. Has this ever happened to you? You were supposed to wake up for a particular class at let's say 7 in the morning, and you wake up an hour prior. So you just close your eyes for a moment and you see that an hour or two passes. Not only that, you miss your classes too. Not only your classes, you also miss the drive and motivation for the rest of your day. This is not something that happens to us once in a blue moon. In fact, this is something that happens to us students frequently. And that's the reason why I feel that the number of students appearing for 8 to 9 class in the morning are way less than, I would not say the whole class strength, but are way less as compared to the number of students appearing for 12 to 1 p.m. class. So firstly, we can have a pat on our backs. It's because we have found out what our problem was. As in, just the way Kidlin's law states that once we write down the problem clearly, half of the matter is already solved. Our problem was that we were not able to wake up on time. Why is it that? Because we hit the snooze button. How do I solve it? Just don't hit the snooze button, or keep your alarm far away. But I would not suggest keeping alarms far away. It's because we are hostelites and we cannot place our alarms far away because we, of course, are going to disturb our roommates early in the morning, since not everyone has the same or consistent bedtimes. Few wake up early, few wake up late. I had seen few people who wake up like 5 minutes prior for their classes, but not an issue. So the only choice that we have is that we are supposed to muster up the willpower that we don't hit the snooze button. I say so because I have seen many people who place many alarms to wake up at a particular time. As in, let's say that they were supposed to wake up at 8 in the morning. They place alarms from 7:15 to 7:20, 7:25, 7:30, 7:40 and so on. So what happens is that the night before, you subconsciously are priming your mind saying that I'm not supposed to wake up early in the morning. I can wake up leisurely. It's because I don't have any purpose or drive to wake up also. So waking up in the morning doesn't matter much to me. So this is what's happening to you when you place 6 to 7 alarms to wake up at a particular time, which then piles up to consequences like waking up late, oversleeping and so on. The solution is that place 1 or at max 2 alarms, confident alarms, and make sure that you don't hit the snooze button in the morning. And if your willpower and your purpose of waking up in the morning is strong enough, I'm sure that you won't find much trouble waking up in the morning. A cluttered space leads to a cluttered mind. Organize your surroundings and clarity will follow. Just take a look at your surroundings, as in, look at the way you have arranged your pens, your pencils, as in your stationery, your daily essentials and stuff. On a scale from 1 to 10, how according to you are you going to rate it compared to the way it has the potential to be arranged? If the rating is way below 6, then it means that there is something that you can do. There is something that's way within your domains. So if you're watching this video on a weekday, then schedule 2 hours of time this weekend, because me being a medical, I know that scheduling time like 2 hours on a weekday is very hard. It's because it's not only that our weekends are a bit more chiller, but it's that on a weekday, apart from studying and doing our chores, there are lots of other things that goes in. So never mind, just place 2 hours the subsequent weekend and declutter your place. I say so because why would one not want to study or work in a place that's already well organized? Declutter your surroundings and clarity will follow. Balance is the key. In this world of constant connection, we sometimes need to disconnect to reconnect. Doesn't matter if you're a hostelite, a localite, a student, or whatever. Usage of social media in this era has increased the limit that it was supposed to maintain. As in, we as humans are not supposed to be exposed to such a high amount of society, but I would say that we are not evolved enough to be engrossed in such a high amount of society that we are being exposed through the social media. Let's just look into the situation in a bird's eye perspective. We see a man with his phone who's completely engrossed in the social media activity. So what's happening is that he is having his phone, he's watching hundreds of people from thousands of places doing millions of activities. What's happening is that his mind is getting stimulated, not in one direction, which I would say is at least healthy, but in millions of directions, in multiple directions that finally leads to brain fog. He's going to get lots of thoughts, his mind is going to get diverted, this and that, and finally he's going to break down. This is what's happening when one person is exposed to social media on a consistent or a regular basis. Now, on the contrary, we being hostelites have a great advantage here. Why consume pixelated society when the real one is around us? This is the greatest advantage that we have being a hostelite. So why prefer the pixelated one when the real one's around you? I get you. There are going to be arguments against this, saying that we follow only good people on social media, we follow the people who align with our goals, it's not bad, this and that. I mean, the point I'm trying to state here is that there has to be a balance, which is where I feel that we are slightly off the rail. Choose a good circle and choose it wisely. Hang out with people that you actually want to learn something from. I say this being a hostelite or a person who has experience staying in this kind of an environment. It's because let's say that you have a friend in real life and you want to learn some things from him, like his values, his core, his essence and stuff. And let's say the same person is posting his same values on social media. So when you compare and contrast the same values that you're deriving from him in real person and social media, you will start finding the difference in the quality of the core and values that you learn from him in real person as compared to you will learn from him from social media. So choose your circle, choose it wisely, and make sure to hang out with good people. And once you start practicing this habit, you will slowly start noticing the changes in you and the discipline and the consistency that you always wanted to see. The food that you eat can be either the safest and the most powerful form of medicine or the slowest form of poison. I know, I'm gonna hear lots of complaints here कि hostel का खाना अच्छा नहीं होता, वो अच्छा नहीं बनाते, it's not good, it's not tasty and stuff. But all I mean is that grow some agency. You and you are the only one who is solely responsible for your health. You can't blame your college, hostelite or institute for taking care of your health. There are a few things that are way outside your hand and there are a few things that are way inside your domain. All I mean is that if your hostel is making a kind of food item that doesn't resonate well with your body or that it doesn't suit you, doesn't matter. Just find an alternative and replace it. The worst thing one can do is say that I'm strong and I'm gonna have whatever my hostel makes. I mean, there is something called as genetics, and that the food that you have been having from your upbringing. And changing this suddenly is something that's not necessary. Or I would say it's not needed at all. As in, I have friends who don't eat some food items. I mean, it's so obvious, but still, some of my friends don't have curd, onions, or some bhajis they make, like with have potatoes in it. Doesn't matter. Find your alternatives, find some healthy substitute, and do the needful. And if you start feeling paranoid that what will happen to me in the future, what if I don't go strong by not diversifying my diet and stuff, don't worry. Nothing like that's going to happen. I'm sure enough that you're working very hard towards your goals and that in the future time, you're going to get to have healthy, hygienic, and your genetic suiting food. It's all about now, and we have already found a solution for that. Keep going. I mean, that's everything that we can do, right? Just stay consistent and do the things that adds value into your life and keep going. You can do this by implementing some study timetables, some schedules and stuff. You can also maintain some go-through journals wherein you can journal your ideas, the things that you want to do, the things that you don't want to do, and keep on going. And these were the few things that you can follow to stay consistent and disciplined despite being a hostelite. If you like this video and found some insights and mental nuggets that added some more value into your life, do leave a comment below. That would mean the world to me. And that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next. Bye.